In Philadelphia, these fascists and racists are in full retreat. Locals were not happy to see these jackasses and literally shoved and chased the group out of downtown.
You're real tough, you stupid animal.
For the self-proclaimed Patriot Front, it was a humiliating defeat. Just moments earlier, in their khaki pants, blue shirts, and masks, the group marched into Center City. But the ridicule and taunts came quickly.
Too scared to take the mask off, too scared.
Shame! Shame on you, piece of shit!
Outrage this morning after a pro-Antifa high school teacher is caught on camera bragging about his push to turn students to the far left.
All the things that you see were driven from the top, George. I mean, the president made it very clear that he did not want to concede the election, that he would not concede the election. And you had a bunch of people around him by the time he got to the end, with very few exceptions, that were C-team players at best, on their best day. So C-team players get in there and they tell the boss what he wants to hear. There were plenty of people on the outside who were telling him, this is over and you need to concede. He didn't want to hear that, so he went to the C-team players and got that.
In case Christie wasn't clear enough right there, what he was trying to say is that the Republican Party isn't somehow the same as Donald Trump, but the reality is that we know better. People like Matt Gaetz are out here running around talking about using shock troops if Donald Trump gets re-elected. And there's a huge chunk of the Republican Party that seems to be drooling at the mouth at the idea of Donald Trump getting back into power. In fact, Republican primaries have been largely defined by how loyal to Donald Trump voters think candidates are, which is why you see candidates bending over backwards to support Donald Trump's obviously fascist rhetoric. This reality is terrifying, but what's even more terrifying is the reality that there are people who are actively trying to make some sort of distinction between Donald Trump and the Republican Party. The reality is that underneath the surface, the Republican Party has always been exactly this. I mean, just look at this photograph right here. Republicans posing with guns saying Merry Christmas. Now, when did they put out this post saying Merry Christmas? Was it on Christmas Day? Well, of course not. Christmas hasn't happened yet. For some reason, they decided it was appropriate to post this picture with a family with a bunch of guns saying Merry Christmas just 4 days after a school shooter in Michigan killed 4 people, where the parents played a significant role in assisting the child of getting access to a firearm and not stopping him from killing some of his schoolmates. That is when this Republican thought it was appropriate to put out a picture celebrating just owning guns. Now, obviously, these Republicans would say, oh, that's just a coincidence. But it's really weird how many coincidences like that there are with these Republican elected officials. It always seems that every time they play with the idea of fascism, that it's just a coincidence. And when it seems like they might be celebrating some absolutely villainous people, it's just circumstance and coincidence, and there's nothing to read into. They seem to think that we should all just ignore any type of subtext or context behind what they say and do, which is why it's called dog whistling. Except for at this point, they're not even really dog whistling anymore. I mean, seriously, Matt Gaetz was running around talking with Steve Bannon about using shock troops if Donald Trump got elected to replace professionals in government offices. He's literally talking about doing a purge of anybody that would be in opposition to a fascist takeover of the United States. And this is all in the context of Christie talking about a PowerPoint where Donald Trump had basically outlined his different strategies for staging a coup.